welcome to the stream, Dean. Thank you very much for coming on.
No problem, no problem.
Yeah, so I think probably for anyone in the audience that doesn't know, well, I assume everyone knows that we run a bot, or maybe they don't. Maybe we could just give a little outline of what the bot is and how it works, and maybe what the benefits are to users for, obviously coming in and being whitelisted for the bot.
Sure. So the bot, a bot in general is an automated software program which trades sort of on your behalf based on some trading algorithm or theory or something that you put behind it. Our bot trades purely on what Stonksy tells it to do, which works through TradingView. Over the last month, I think it's about a month to the day, to be honest, since it started running, we've been operating the bot on long and shorts, on the red and green color changes, on the background, on the hour chart, on Bitcoin only. I think it's been a relatively successful trial, let's say, where I think we've hit basically every single trade on the whole, apart from some issues which have now been sort of fixed from our end, fixed from BLOFIN's end, so there's no issues with the bot from now on. The idea was we set up the bot on the 1 hour, we can track it, we can see what it's doing, we can see when it's supposed to go long, we can see when it's supposed to go short, we can see how it affects people's trading, we can see if the copy trades actually work. It's all been a work in progress for the past month to check it's all good, and now we are happy that everything appears to be hunky-dory with the bot. We can now start playing around with it and using some more exciting aspects of Stonksy rather than just the 1 hour chart, because I can appreciate it's slow, it's a bit boring. It does take a while for it to get going sometimes. I think it was a week before it did the first trade, which, we can't influence Stonksy to make a trade on just because we wanted to make a trade, but it took a week for Stonksy to make a trade on that one, which, I think it was a successful trade, but I can't remember. So it's all been a bit of a blur this past month. But yes, it's been a busy month, working hard, making it all nice and good. And we have got lots of changes that are going to be coming through this week.
Yeah, it's been a massive, obviously on your end as well. For those of you that maybe don't know, obviously, Dean is like Spud says in the chat, the wizard behind Stonksy, doing all the developments and work across the indicator and the bot. So yeah, I know on his end, it's been a huge, and that's probably an understatement, amount of work and effort put into it to make it possible. And obviously bring this new feature to users, because obviously since the start of Stonksy, any developments, whether it be actual indicator updates or, bringing the Discord to users or, the bot itself, that's all come, free of charge. We've never upped the cost of users or charged them an additional fee or anything. Everything's been part of the package. So every step that we've done and development that we've worked towards, and obviously all this effort that's been put into the bot, and now, listening to feedback, obviously making sure it's all working, and just trying to make sure that users, are being heard with. Obviously, like you mentioned, the 1 hour chart. It's not the most frequent one, although of recent, it's been really, really good in catching. Obviously, Bitcoin's been getting a lot of volatility recently. The opportunity to long and short has come quite frequent, as opposed to, these periods that we see on Bitcoin where we can get a lot of sideways action and the price trading in a minimal range. We've obviously been getting an increased amount of volatility, which is always good for the market if you want to try and catch both sides. So yeah, but obviously moving on to maybe for those of you that don't have Stonksy in the audience, maybe we could just give them a brief outline of when they sign up to Stonksy, exactly how the bot works, and how they get access to following the bot, and then we'll move on to the new stuff then.
Okay, so at current moment in time, the bot works by a system of alerts on TradingView, which are set up to alert the bot when there's been a change in the background color. So there's 6 alerts for each different change. So red to green, green to red, the whole way through. I don't need to outline all of them, which does mean that I've got quite a lot of alerts going on my TradingView at any one time, which does get annoying. So it all goes through my phone as well, so it's always pinging, which is a bit annoying. But it then sends these alerts to the bot, which then is hooked up to BLOFIN, and then sends the trades through onto BLOFIN, which then operates it through the copy trade, which then sends everyone long or short, or whatever it is that the bot has determined that it should do at that point in time. Users sign up by sending me or Dave the BLOFIN UID, and I just add it into the copy trade. It's not that difficult. There is some quirks with BLOFIN and the set up on the user's end, you can use copy trade, a smart copy or traditional copy trade, which has caused some issues for some people sometimes. But I think, well, we've got the full instructions in Discord, which outline that. But I've run my stuff on both smart copy and traditional, and so long as you're not trying to trade with more money in the account, it works.
Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, that's a great description of it. And the main benefit for that is obviously, alongside it being done automatically, it's not like the user has to, we go, okay, you've got access to the bot, then you have to set it up or connect it to an exchange or whatever. The benefits of running it through copy traders, you get whitelisted for it. You then obviously put funds in the account of our copy trade, and then it's all done then. It opens, closes, all that good stuff on behalf of you. So it's completely, stress-free on your end in terms of managing it, because there is no management. Once you're whitelisted and you've, dedicated funds into it on the account, you're all set to go then. So
you can put in the take profits and stop losses as well, because we have been running it without. That's going to be something that's going to change moving forward. But for the past month, it's been running with no stop loss, no take profit.
Yeah, and obviously, like you mentioned, then there is a manual side. If you go on the copy trade and Stonksy's caught a nice position, you can also manually close that if you want to, and then all that'll happen is you'll then just wait for the next trade to trigger. So say like Bitcoin's obviously in this green background at the moment. If you go on, maybe even now or yesterday, and you thought, oh, that's a nice, that's a nice amount of profit, I want to close it there. You could opt to manually close it, and then obviously your next trade would trigger when the next background comes along then. So there is still a feel of manual capabilities around it, like Dean said, then take profit and stop loss. But also, you can manually close the trade as well if you want to, if you just want to take what's on the table and then wait for the next trade to trigger.
You can be as active or as passive as what you want.
Exactly.
It's quite nice.
Yeah.
As opposed to the alternative, which would be setting everyone up with an API and.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
Fills me with dread.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a lot easier and a lot more beneficial on both sides, I suppose, to run it via copy trading, because it makes it that much more easier. A bot is meant to be autonomous in it, but also if you were using it, directly yourself, there would still be management around that. It works perfectly. It's a perfect mixture. So obviously, I think that leads us on now to the new iteration of things that are coming. I know obviously you put a Medium article out yesterday, didn't you? And then I think you've dropped maybe a brief explanation into the Discord as well. But I think if we just cover, exactly what is new that's going to be coming around the bot, any new features or what it will bring and how it will benefit users that are using the bot.
So the bot's going to operate on a sort of, I'd say completely different, but it's not. It's going to be working on a different system. So currently it's got this complex system of different alerts, which if I accidentally pause one of the alerts, it stops the bot from working, which does get a bit annoying. But I think it's only happened once, which is fine, and it didn't affect anything from happening, so that's okay. But yeah, now it's going to be, instead of working on a system of alerts, it's going to be based off a strategy, which is advantageous for us in many ways. It allows us to set one alert, and then the dynamic code submits the alert to the bot based on what Stonksy's told it. So let's say Stonksy's told it, let's go long 3x with 25% of equity. That's what will be sent to the bot, and that's the trade that will be triggered. That will be based on one alert, which is dynamic. So if it wants to go short, it just tells it to go short. If it wants to close the trade, it tells it just to close the trade. It simplifies it a large amount on the back end, which should reduce any of these silly little errors that will happen every so often. It also allows us possibly the most advantageous thing, which is to do strategy testing on any strategy that gets put on Stonksy's bot. This allows us to backtest the data as far as what trading viewers will let us backtest, which I think if you go on some of them, it goes right back to like 2013, doesn't it, Dave? So that is a powerful tool that's going to really help us make the bot as well informed as possible when it makes its trades.
Yeah, smashing. It's gonna definitely provide its benefits as opposed to the current what we've currently got going on. And like you said, it's going to allow switching up of strategies and stuff like that. Is that correct?
Yeah. So basically, we've gone from think of it like a human, like a human that goes long with 10 quid as opposed to now we've got an informed, educated bot that will go, oh, I like this, let's go along with 25% and we'll send up increase the leverage because it looks good. It's much more intelligent. It's thinking what it's doing without it's thinking before it does it, which is much better and is going to make my life a lot easier.
That's good.
It's the back testing that I think is the main advantage, really, because everything can be validated with data. The more data we've got, the more we can prove what we're going to do is correct, and the more correct it's going to be, the more everyone's going to win.
But I suppose maybe one area of the bot that people will be wondering is how will the time frame be changed? Because obviously, like we mentioned at the start, around this initial period has been focused on the 1 hour, so we can iron out any sort of errors or anything we need to flatten out before obviously a lower time frame causes more trades, which if anything's going wrong can be a lot to handle. But obviously now we've had this first month or so, will this new form of bot that we'll be using, will that be lower in the time frame, or what will we be moving on to?
The 1 hour bot's been great because it only does its trades at the o'clock. It's predictable. You can see exactly when it's going to do what it's going to do, which has been really good for bug fixing. But yeah, we will be changing that as it's going to be all data driven. I think the first time frame, which is currently already listed, is currently already operating, but it's not hit a trade since I listed it on Friday. That's going to be a low risk one. But yeah, so I will do this bit first. The feedback from people was, we want high risk, we want more trades, we want more leverage, we want more equity risked. This means I think we can operate two separate bots, one being a higher risk one being a lower risk one. A higher risk one obviously is going to have a much lower time frame than an hour. Even the lower risk one, that's going to be changed as well. Currently the lower risk one that I've got operating is on the 10-minute and the 6-minute, looking for agreements between both time frames before it enters trades. But the higher risk one, I've just been tinkering with it this morning. I've not finalized the strategy we're going to be doing on that one yet, but it will be shorter.
Yeah,
it will be more. I don't know which one yet though. I don't want to stay in and say like 5 minutes and then suddenly it's going to be like 3 minutes. I don't know which exactly one it's going to be. But
fantastic. Yeah, superb. Pelin has asked about whitelist. Yes, so if you've just joined, we will. You can reach out if you want to first, but yeah, we just need your BLOFIN UID number. So if you've just joined, Pelin, I'll have a look at that after the stream. But if you do want to email us in, or obviously when you're in the Discord, I can get that off you. But yeah, pretty much we just need your BLOFIN UID number, that's all. And Satoshi asked, what percentage of funds does the bot typically trade with? So I think maybe there's obviously 2 areas to cover here, isn't there, Dean? There's obviously the area, well, maybe 3. Obviously what it's been doing at the moment with smart copy. Then obviously the mixture with, some people have been using traditional, haven't they? And then obviously this new part, which I think you said, might use, was it 25%? Or I'll let you explain it anyway.
Yeah. So initially the bot, I was aiming for it to be 15% of the total equity in each trade, but the first bot is a bit stupid and didn't quite understand it. So instead of hitting the 15%, it varies a little bit, which I've improved it now. It doesn't do that anymore. It's no longer as stupid, but it was quite a stupid bot. The new one is, it works it out inside the bot before it submits any trades, the maths behind how much it's going to use in equity. And then it will submit based on that amount of equity, based on the maths that it's done, basically. But users don't need to follow what the bot does. If you use smart copy, you will copy the percentage of equity that what the bot uses exactly. But if you use the traditional settings, you can change that to whatever you sort of want, really. Going forward, we'll aim for 25% unless it really doesn't go well, because I think that's a nice balance between using all of it, as some people want, and not going mental. I think that's the sensible option. But if you want to use all of it, there's ways that you can manipulate the traditional settings to use all of it. So on my personal copy trading account, I've been putting 100% of the equity in each trade by using, the cost per order on traditional settings, which I'll just load it up on my phone. If you select the fixed amount, you can change the cost per order just below your total investment. That will put in basically the full amount in each trade if you want to do that. I'm only playing with like $50 in this account, so I've been lumping it all on. If you've got more than that, you probably don't want to do that. But you can also change the leverage within BLOFIN. It's why it's quite a nice platform to have lined up with, because it's a lot of customization for the users, how they want to do their own trading.
Yeah, fantastic. That was a very good explanation. So Satoshi, that should have answered your question perfectly.
Do you reckon that's the real Satoshi?
Who knows? Who knows? It'd be great to have you in the Discord if it is. Do make sure you sign up. But yeah, I think. Well, I mean, for me, I don't think there's anything else that I think
Dave,
we need.
You're forgetting about what we're going to be doing in the future.
Well, yeah, go on. If you want to, I was thinking I didn't want to put you on the spot for anything that I've not said previously that we was going to discuss, and then just go right. What's coming in 3 months or something like that. But yeah, if you want to discuss anything that might be going on in the future, yeah, I mean, you take the floor.
I mean, I can't guarantee it's going to be in exactly 3 months. I was aiming for a bit faster than that, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I get you. The intention is to create a kind of brain for Stonksy. At present, Stonksy can look at a single time frame or a single strategy and can't compare anything. And it goes, this works for doing this trading, and it will give you this much profit at the end of the month, sort of vibe. Whereas if we create a brain for Stonksy, where Stonksy can store the data that it gets from past strategy tests inside a big brain, and then it'll be able to compare strategies against strategies and timeframes against timeframes. Timeframes against timeframes might be a bit tricky, but strategies against strategies is very, very doable as a comparison thing. So this will mean we can pull the data from Stonksy, shove it in Stonksy's brain. Stonksy's brain can read the data and then spit out what it deems to be the best time frame or best strategy or the best whatever for the next month or so. We can then hook it up with something like the Trading View calendar, which is based on an API, which you can pull that data. You can then plug that into Stonksy's brain, and Stonksy's brain can look at what happened on the previous, let's say, CPI day. What happened last CPI day? How did it react? What was the best strategy on the last CPI day? And then using its brain, we'll be able to figure out when the last CPI day was, what the best strategy for that day was, and how best to approach the upcoming CPI day. It's an ambitious idea, but I think it's a doable idea. I can't think why I wouldn't be able to do it. So I don't know if 3 months is a reasonable target, but that is the next aim for me, to give Stonksy a brain.
Yeah, I mean, that's extremely exciting. I wasn't. I'm not sure if I was even aware of that, but yeah.
I spoke about it in the analytics chat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course,
it's developed from that initial idea, because obviously I've got a brain and I've got an imagination, and you know, if I can think it, I can make it. Yeah,
I mean that's it, and you know, like you said, it's an ambitious target, but you know that is the sole purpose of everything, you know, that we've done so far, isn't it? Is to just keep developing it, make it the best product that we can. So, you know, I imagine this is probably a thought that you've had in you know, thinking this up, but you know, why stop here, or you know, why stop wherever? You know, if we can carry on pushing it and making it better, I mean, that sounds like it will be, you know, incredible if you even manage to pull it off, which I'm sure you're gonna give it your best shot. But if you can give Stonksy a brain and make it a living thing, you know, quote unquote. But yeah, I think I mean, that's certainly exciting to look forward to. So I hope everyone is sat with the jaws on the floor now going, wow. Wow.
Hopefully, if not, it's fine. I mean, it's a fun project to try do. There's a lot of data involved. The new strategy that we've got on Stonksy allows us to add so many different variables in. I'll need a team of people pulling data just for me to do that. But you know, we'll get there.
Yeah, fantastic. That's brilliant. Obviously we had So we've had past, present, future discussion around the bot. If anyone does have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat now. But big thank you for coming on, Dean. I mean,
No
that
problem.
is, miles above and beyond of a better explanation of what I'd have been able to give
I'm sure
everyone. Scotty just wants to thank us for the hard work and dedication. Well, no, thank you. Obviously, this is all for the benefit of users and providing, more value, a better product, and just making Stonksy the best it can be. Which at the end of the day is, to make it the best. If we can reach the best product on the market of its kind. And obviously for you users, anyone who's paying to use Stonksy, obviously you guys will want the best product and the best features. So that's why we've not stopped developing, and we've just moved on from thing to thing as we've gone on since the start. So yeah, we'll see obviously where we end up. But if Dean's master plan comes off, I'm sure it'll be a fantastic place with Stonksy's brain. So yeah, it should be fun. We are getting a nice Bitcoin pump as well, as we've been obviously discussing this. We had US Open, which I think Bitcoin's tailed off a couple of $100 since US Open. But overall,
you didn't do the bell.
Yeah, I know. Well, I didn't want to do it in the middle. Stop what we're doing. Ring the bell.
Oh, you should have stopped there.
Yeah. So that's been great. I think that might be all, unless you've got anything else maybe you feel like you want to run through, Dean.
All good from me. I think we hit everything that I can think of.